Vanderbilt and Kentucky, so I think their pathway to a bowl game is much easier than the Arkansas Razorbacks. But for the Auburn Tigers, I think it's just one of those things they expect to win this game. I don't blame them. They're at home. They're slightly favored. They don't look at Arkansas as just this perennial power, and they haven't been. Arkansas hasn't been. But for the Razorbacks, you miss one at Oklahoma State. We've been saying it all summer. You got to split the Auburn and Oklahoma State game. So we'll see if they're able to do that later on, starting at 2:30. Again, pregame coverage going to 11:30. Then we'll hand the headsets over to Phil Elson, Gino Bell, and Rick Schaefer. And, of course, Chuck and Quinn Grovey will follow after the fact. Later on, Hog Reaction with Zach Arns and a guy that Colton just referred to, our very own Matt Jones. I'm sure Matt's going to have some thoughts on this game. He had some success against Auburn back in the day, and you're hoping that that transpires. You think about some of these games in Jordan-Hare Stadium, and I refer to the Darren McFadden and Fred Talley, KJ and Rocket ran roughshod. I know that you've had good games that you unfortunately lost, like in 2020 with the Bo Nix fumbled spike.
I'm going to throw up.
The Tyler Wilson game. I mean, there's been some highly competitive, and then there's like a 56-3 2016. Yeah. There's been some highly competitive games in Jordan-Hare Stadium.
You look at Jordan-Hare Stadium, it's one of those kind of meccas of college football that people kind of, look at as one of the defining things that make this sport so great. And there's been some wacky stuff happen there. And especially for Arkansas, too, Going into any type of SEC environment, you want your team to be up for this game. They know how important this game is for the whole entire, season. We've been talking about this all week and kind of leading up to this, all summer, that this is an important game for, where Arkansas and both Auburn could be at the end of the season trying to claw into, maybe getting a bowl appearance. So going on to the road in the SEC is always tough. And now with, some of the offense kind of sputtering here and there, I know there's a lot of fans that don't have a lot of confidence right now, but I feel like this is kind of where this team has thrived in Sam Pittman's tenure, is when their back has been really, really against the wall. And I feel like right now this team knows that they have the ability. There's a lot of potential that they have to, go out there and do what they know that they're capable of doing. But I think that there's some mindset issues that are holding them back right now, and nothing would convince this fan base more that this is a team that's ready to play and have a good season than going on the road, with a team like Auburn that's had your number more often than more often than you care to admit, and handling some business this week.
Yeah, and I think for the capability you're discussing, Colton, is very sound, because Arkansas has the capability of scoring 40 points today, and you didn't have that last year. I think when you look at the Razorbacks, you're just hoping that the offensive line that's had success through these first 3 games running the football can do it against an SEC defense. And an SEC defense, quite frankly, that isn't necessarily as good as they've been in years past. Hugh Freeze came in with Liberty with a really good defense. I guess 2022, or was it 3? I guess it was 2022 with a really good defense. This Auburn defense is not necessarily as talented as they have in previous years. I've referred to Keo Spikes and Nick Fairley at points this week. They don't necessarily have that alpha dog on this defense, so I think Arkansas can take advantage. They've been susceptible to the run against some lesser opponents in 3 games, and I think Arkansas can have some success doing that. Lance is driving from Fort Sill. Colton, I'm going to have to look this up. Any idea where Fort Sill is?
I want to say Kansas, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a...
He's saying it's in Oklahoma. So he is apparently driving to Auburn from Fort Sill. Lance, be safe driving up here.
Godspeed to you.
And here's the interesting thing about this game. Like, Lance obviously making the trip. We have other listeners that are listening on the Hit That Line Now app or across our radio stations or hitthatline.com. Colton, the game's not that packed today. There are tickets going for like $10 on the 50-yard line, which I was amazed at. I was asking some Auburn fans last night. I was like, why is this? Because there's some sorority family weekends. It's the first SEC game. I know the marquee matchup that most fans are looking forward to here is Oklahoma next week, because it's the first time the Sooners, I think, have ever been to Auburn. But I'm a little surprised that there's not more of an appetite around this game at 2:30 today.
Well, you're getting into the meat of the SEC schedule and really the college football schedule now. I'm sitting here looking at all the schedules for, the Big 12 and the Big 10 and the SEC that I got printed out right in front of me. And there's going to be some really big matchups this week. But yeah, you're right. I think this Arkansas-Auburn game, because there's just so much unknowns with both of these teams, they've both shown flashes of being capable and also flashes of some serious inconsistencies that are really, that have a lot of, I guess, pundits and media people that are kind of just going to be like, oh, we'll see how that plays out and just watch it later. It's not something that I have to be paying attention to. Now, this Oklahoma State and Utah game later on is probably one of the most important games of the day in terms of the Big 12, in terms of the 12-team playoff, because one of those two teams is probably going to be coming out of the Big 12 just because based off how they've looked at the start of the season. So that's a game that I'd like to keep my eye on. I'm not exactly sure what time that one starts. It's probably going to be an evening game. But this Arkansas-Auburn game, look, the Auburn fans, they're probably not going to show up because, they're 2-1, and they probably didn't expect to be 2-1 at this point, and they didn't look very good in that opening against Cal. And so, obviously there's probably a little bit of hype with Hank Brown, who looked okay against a really bad New Mexico team. But I think that maybe there's just so much inconsistency with both of these two teams right now that there's just a lot of unknowns that I don't know if anybody can really get behind and maybe, say that, hey, we're going to pack the stadium for Arkansas, because I don't really know if they have a lot of confidence in their team to win that game.
That's it. It was funny talking to Auburn fans last night, Colton. They don't, and I was a little surprised at that. All right, again, our number 877-377-6963. Just got a text from our friend Clay Henry. He's set to join us in 20 minutes. You're welcome to join us at any time on that number via call or via text. It's Arkansas Game Day. We're again brought to you by our friends at the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Robert, Elizabeth, Matthew, Raleigh. They have all the stuff. They have everything that you need at the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Visit their website, shoponrazorback.com, shoponrazorback.com. And also by Sawyer's Sunrooms. Sawyer's has everything for outside the house, sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. Visit them online at sawyers-sunroom.com. That's sawyers-sunroom.com. We're behind Emmy Lines, thanks to our friend at Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. All right, when we come back, we'll talk more Hogs and Tigers. We're live on the plains of Auburn. More Arkansas Game Day coming at you.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Arkansas Game Day. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Big C here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. Right now, they've got state sales tax paid on all their pre-owned inventory through Monday. That's hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars you can save on a pre-owned vehicle, and they have got quite the selection out here. Every time I come out here, it dawns on me like, man, if I was looking for a new or used car, this would be the place to go because of their large selection. You won't be forced to pick something you don't like because, as I just mentioned, they've got everything: cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, and it's never scary at Harry's. They always make it quick and simple. If you're looking to trade in, they always give you more for your trade as well. That's a quick process. So get by here. Go to harryrobinson.com and check it out online.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Are you interested in saving money on your heating bills and upgrading your home's energy efficiency? Now's the time. Installing or upgrading to natural gas allows you to take advantage of high-efficiency appliances that save energy and money. From furnaces to water heaters to gas dryers and fireplaces, there's a natural gas option to fit your home and your budget. What's not to love about that? Don't wait. Call AOG today at 800-842-5690 or visit AOGC.com to learn more. AOG, energy for life.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home, quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel, 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hey, Hawk fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb page brands.
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Jackson saw sweep, got a hole at the 5, touchdown! To Quindon Jackson, touchdown Arkansas! You need a hole! Yeah!
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
Jackson right side, big hole, touchdown Arkansas!
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Yeah, Coach Petrino offense is like exciting to see. It's a show. We're going to bring a show.
I don't know where I felt like it. Get a little drink around here, do you, bud?
ESPN Arkansas is behind enemy lines in Auburn thanks to Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. This is Arkansas Game Day.
I had a chance to talk with some Auburn media people yesterday, and one of the guys I chatted with actually coached with Coach Petrino back here at Auburn. People forget that he at one point was the Auburn offensive coordinator. Some thought he was going to be a head coach. There was some stuff with Tommy Tuberville back in the day. So Petrino's, again, been around college football a long time, had the little stint with the Falcons. But it is kind of not just a coming home party for Travis Williams, but also for Coach Petrino. Curious how his offense fares today. If you've got some thoughts, text him in 877-377-6963. You can also call us as well. It's Colton Little and Todd Richardson. We're live from Jordan-Hare Stadium this morning. Really appreciate the Auburn staff letting us do the show here. We got a text from Steven. He is a big said he's a big LSU fan, but he hates Auburn. He's saying go Hogs with the Geaux. He's also a big Colton Little fan. Is that your?
I have to say that is mine. That's my uncle. He's a great man. I appreciate the support this morning, Stephen. I have some vivid memories of watching football with Stephen when I was a little kid. He's an LSU fan, so they always revolve around Black Friday and that big game they used to have back then. And my earliest memories are 2007 and 2008. So there's a little dagger for you this morning, Stephen. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I was curious. I was like, why do we have an LSU fan listening? Family ties, man. Family ties. So that makes sense a little bit. Ryan is listening to us at the rice mill. Ryan, we always appreciate it. I know that you're always texting.
Hardest working listener we have. Man.
I know. I was going to say he's always working. I don't think he's ever texted us without working. So, Ryan, we appreciate you not only helping Arkansas still stay at the top of the rice manufacturer and producer in the United States, but also for listening to our program this morning. You can always listen to us on ESPN Arkansas. We've got 4 radio stations, of course. Hit That Line Now and Hit That Line Now or app and hitthatline.com. And Clay, again, set to join us in about 10 minutes. I think Clay was on to something last week, and I jumped the gun. I'll admit that I thought Arkansas would just wipe the floor with UAB. First home game, but we saw a team that came out flat, that still looked like they had some leftover stuff from that leftover I'm trying to think of the word, but they're hungover, I would say, similar to me this morning after the UAB or after the Oklahoma State game. And I think for Arkansas, like that was last week, and I think you're going to have a team that fires up. I don't know if they can start as fast as they did in Stillwater, Colton, because that was about as impressive as it gets offensively outside the turnovers. But I don't expect the same team that we saw in Fayetteville, Arkansas last week.
No, and this has been a very unsightly and unfortunate trend of Coach Pitman's tenure, but for some reason we tend to get up for these important games on the road. I mean, we play a little bit better no matter the competition, and I guess that is a sign of mental toughness that you want within your program. But at the same time, you would have liked to have seen last week your prediction come true, Ty. You'd think that we would have been able to handle that UAB team, and to give a little bit of credit to them, I feel like that coaching staff of Mortensen and Dilfer, they're going to have a lot of teams in their conference schemed up really well this year, and it's going to make up for some of the lack of talent they might have on their roster, because that's some really bright football minds they have running the program over there at UAB. So give them credit. They probably did that to us a little bit. And, you talked about Bobby Petrino, and how he used to, coach at Auburn when we came coming back into this segment here. And some of Hugh Freeze's comments earlier this week, in one of his pressers, one of the media people around Auburn, they asked him about that, and they said, Hugh Freeze kind of alluded to the fact that he's been around the block, he's done and seen everything, and that any time that, your offensive coordinator feels confident to line up in 12 personnel with all those extra bodies and stuff, that Hugh Freeze said it's a very scary sight. So I know Auburn's kind of on their heels right now, and you kind of mentioned it coming into this last segment here, that their run defense has been susceptible at times towards weaker competition. So hopefully our line kind of gets that jump start going for us today by moving the ball down the field and getting downhill in the running game. And we also talked about Jaquindon Jackson maybe getting spelled here or there. I think Matt mentioned that you don't want to see him get overloaded in that first half. It's why we really need a running back 2 to step up right now. So I think if we can get the ball moving downhill, we will get that quick start that we want. And the offense that we have is formidable when we're moving, so we need to keep that going today.
You mentioned the offense. Jamie texted in, is Luke Has injured, and why can't Green pass from the pocket? So two things.
Good questions.
Luke Has, he grabbed his back following the Oklahoma State touchdown. Coach said he's good this week. He went on the injury report, so I think he's okay. I know that has been a very, very heavy-centric topic from our fans this week, and deservedly so. Like, you've got this kid that was a 4 games in was like a freshman All-American last year with the plays he made.
He looked so good against
Yeah,
LSU,
he did, and he's been pivotal in the run blocking. I mean, I'm not going to pretend to be a Clay Henry or a coach and diagnose and dissect what we've seen, but I mean, you just watch him. He's opened us up to some holes. That is that offensive line. He just hadn't got as many passes. You're hoping that he gets more target shares, and I don't know if he's ever going to be a Hunter Henry or a DJ Williams, but he's definitely got some talent. Jamie, I expect him to get the ball a little more than he did today. I think the question I have, Colton, is last week Andrew Armstrong was fantastic. Tyrone Broden 0 for 6, basically 6 targets. Now, one wasn't his fault. It got either thrown over his head or at his feet. I'm forgetting the wide open touchdown he should have had, but I wonder how many targets Broden gets today in the first SEC game of the season after struggling a little bit last week, or if they maybe target someone else more heavily.
Well, I'd like to see them try to spread the ball around. You know, we've got a lot of receivers that have shown flashes of really quality skills that I think can play in the SEC. We get this comment once a show on every show that I've been on so far this week. Someone needs to get the ball to Isaac Tesla. I've never seen the dude drop a pass. Then we've got Jordan Anthony, who flashed world-class track sprinter speed several times. I'd love to see him get the ball in his hands. You know, Gino Bell talked last week on the pregame show that there was a missing poster out for Landon Jackson. I'd like to post several more around town with our receiving core, because now they have been schemed open, and Taylon Green needs to hit them when they're open, if it's possible, if he can, and he has to be able to. But I think with the wide receivers, you know, Broden, he's missed a few balls he should have caught. Some of them probably weren't as catchable as he would have liked and as the quarterback coach and Taylon would like. But at the same time, you know, there's a chemistry that was very evident between Andrew Armstrong and Taylon Green. Ty, you saw that just whenever they were having an interview at SEC Media Days. I mean, those two guys were 2 peas in a pod, birds of the same feather. So we've seen that chemistry been established since July. And so I think that maybe we need to see a little bit more chemistry from the rest of these pass catchers. And there's an interesting thing about these tight ends, Ty. On the game notes that the University of Arkansas kind of released earlier this week for this week, it mentions all the coaching staff and everything, and it separates them by on the field and in the booth. There's only one coach listed in the booth. You know who that is, Ty? That's Morgan Turner, our tight ends coach. You think maybe, now this may be a nothing burger, but do you think maybe that could have anything to do at all with maybe the fact that we haven't seen too many targets from the tight ends? He's the only coach in the box, it says, for this week, which is very strange.
He's Coach Turner has a track record with some different guys at Stanford, and I know that I actually had a conversation, I want to say it was something close to Hudson Henry. That, I mean, Hudson almost went to Stanford because of Coach Turner. I don't know. I know Coach Williams, T. Will's down on the sideline. I know Coach Petrino's down on the sideline. I don't know if I would go to that extreme, but that's an interesting point. I haven't thought about it that way. All right, I hear Clay Henry in my ear, so we're going to take a short break. Again, we're live at Jordan-Hare Stadium this morning. Clay's going to join us on the other side. It's Arkansas Game Day, brought to you by the Shop on Razorback and by Sawyer Sunrooms.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Big C coming to you live from Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. It's never scary at Harry's because they do their very best to make sure you leave happy, and they don't want to tell you no. If you've gone somewhere else and they've told you no, that's not what they're about here at Harry's. They want to get you in a new or used vehicle. Right now, they've got state sales tax paid going on their used inventory, and every time I come by here, I'm just amazed at how many options they have. This lot is full, and state sales tax paid going on right now on all their pre-owned. That's hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars you can save. And if you're looking to trade, they always give you more for your trade. And don't be discouraged about if your credit score is not great. They want to hook you up. So get by here right now. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith.
It's the 3-day fall hunting and hit sale this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Jelco Outdoors. Savings inside and outside of the store.
Yes, Tom, it is. Bow season's almost here, and we've got that Morel bag target on sale for $34.99. We've got select Hoyt and Elite compound bows up to $300 off. We've got ladder stands on sale. We've got ground blinds, 180-degree full view for $89.99. We've got all of our camo clothing on sale. It's almost here.
It's the 3-day fall hunting and tent sale. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero Fargo, and Fort Smith. The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Jackson saw sweep, got a hole at the 5, touchdown. Jaquindon Jackson, touchdown, Arkansas. You need a ball.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
Jackson right side, big hole, touchdown, Arkansas.
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Yeah, Coach Petrino offense is like exciting to see. It's a show. We're going to bring a show.
I don't know where I felt like it. Get a little drink around here, do you, bud?
ESPN Arkansas is behind enemy lines in Auburn thanks to Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. This is Arkansas Game Day.
All right, we welcome you back inside Arkansas Game Day, live from Jordan-Hare Stadium. Really appreciate the Stadium Shop on Razorback and Sawyer's Sunrooms for sponsoring our Arkansas Game Day coverage all season long. What we got there, Colton?
Your home for every Razorback.
Random promo playing, I guess.
Turn
I'm
it
just going
down.
to let it go.
Turn the switcher down. There you go. Go ahead and eject that if you can. Clay Henry's with us now. Of course, Arkansas riding legend, kind enough to wake up early with us this morning. Clay, we were conversing during the break. Gary Thomas, our friend, better known as Hogtunes, has done it again. TP'd the Tigers. He's got a picture of a Tiger mascot in Arkansas running away. Man, he is about as talented as it gets when it comes to these cartoons each and every week.
Well, they're at Toomer's Corner, and that's what Auburn does is they TP'd the trees after the game, and this tiger got TP'd, so toilet papered, and it's a forlorn tiger. It is looks like he's been whipped, but that's that hadn't happened very often, at least not lately. I mean, I'm looking at the series record. Auburn leads 20-12-1, and it's 9-2. The last 11. Arkansas won, and Auburn 2 years ago, and 4 years ago they should have won 30-28. They had the game locked up. If the SEC office gives them the right verdict on that backward pass.
People still don't. Hey, buddy, there's a dog that just came into the press box. I think Millie would like this canine, Clay. I think we're just checking a little bit this morning. Yeah, Clay, it's been interesting. So you mentioned that you referenced that game back in 2020. They won 2 years ago. Sam Pittman's had some success here before. This is only like a 2.5 point spread. I'm expecting a whale of a game today. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's if you look at the series. Auburn's thumped them of late. I mean, the scores. Oh, you go 2015 Arkansas won the 4 overtime game that Drew Morgan, had a career just in the overtimes. But Arkansas's lost 56-3, 52-20, 34-3, 51-10. Then it's the close one, 30-28, and then 38-23. And last year it was 48-10. I mean, Arkansas wasn't competitive against them last year. So, I think that was a game where Arkansas physically just didn't show up. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that you have hope that this is early in the season and they still got their stinger. They didn't last week, but you and I talked about it 7 days ago, almost to this morning show, that they don't always, after they have great effort the next week, they usually don't.
Yeah.
But I think they will this week. I think they're excited. That doesn't mean they play well, though. You can play hard and not play well, and that's what we have to see is have they polished up some of the little mistakes that just become big? And I'm talking about drop passes and all that kind of stuff. The drop pass thing is interesting because Auburn last year, their wide receivers had been dropping 5 to 8 passes a game, just about the way Arkansas did last week. They caught them all against Arkansas, and then of course they had running quarterback that lit them up on third down. But it's can Arkansas play to their capabilities? That's the part of this game that I think will tip it one way or the other. Does Arkansas, are they clean? Do they play to their ability level?
Yeah. Clay, you've heard Coach Pitman talk about this, and I'm just going to lean right into your point. I mean, the only team that's really stopped Arkansas is Arkansas during the course of this season. I know the UAB effort wasn't what you wanted to be offensively last week, but, I mean, Talon missed at least 2 wide-open touchdowns. I mean, they've had multiple opportunities. We think about Oklahoma State, the issues that they had there were mostly self-inflicted wounds. It seems to be that they're not so much firing on all cylinders, because then they'd be scoring 60 points a game. But I mean, it really hasn't been an opposing. It's been themselves, Clay. It seems like.
Well, I'm interested to watch Arkansas's offensive line and see if they hold up against the Auburn front. They didn't hold up last year. I mean, it was they didn't. They couldn't block a 3rd and 1 to save their life. Mm-hmm. And you've got, is Austin Nichols, is he able to play? The center, and because they're different with Wiggins out there than with Nichols. They're not as powerful. They're not as big.
Not as girthy.
There's about 30 pounds difference. Yeah, I know the program weight says one thing, but I think Nichols is bigger than his program weight.
Yeah.
Looks it to me. And then we're still kind of watching the evolution of Amarion Harris, left guard. So the center of that line, what do they give Taylor Green as far as pass protection? And are they able to do some things in the passing game where he has time to let those receivers run some of those double moves that Bobby Petrino loves? If you're going to run a crossing route, you got to give him time to cross. And that's that's kind of the part that I want to see. And then, is Luke Haas in the mix this week? He hasn't been, and I don't know whether, he had the stiff back against Oklahoma State, and you saw it on the touchdown run. He was miserable right after that. Mm-hmm. I just wonder if he's fully healthy, and they're saying he is, and maybe he is. Maybe they just haven't figured it out yet, as far as how to best utilize him. I mean, they're so heavy with Armstrong, but maybe this is the week where Taylor diversifies things a little bit as far as his receivers.
So you mentioned Andrew Armstrong's success, Clay. If you're DJ Durkin and you're watching how much he's been utilized through the first 3 games, I mean, are you double teaming him every play? I mean, what are you doing to try and throw off the Arkansas offense if you're Auburn's defensive coordinator?
Well, I think you're aware of him. Where they and if you're going to double him, then that turns something else loose, probably in the run game, because if you're doubling him, it's likely with the safety.
I mean, it's you're gonna line up with the corner on him, and are you shading him with the safety? Well, that takes the safety out of the box, and that's exactly what they want to do. That just kind of plays into their hand. We're going to run it right down your throat because you can't match our numbers in the box. We'll bring somebody back. We'll put him in motion. We'll have an extra blocker, and you're doubling our guy out there. We're going to check the runs. And now that's what they should have done to start the game against UAB. UAB backed out all three linebackers 8 yards deep on that play, and it should have been a check to a run. You got a 4-man front. You got 5 blockers. You got an extra. You got a tight end.
Yep.
So you've got them 6-4 in the linebackers, and it was early down. It wasn't third and long or anything, but that's just got to be a check to a run every time, and that's the. I think that's the part of Taylor Green's game that we're not sure of. It was, and I can remember sitting in the spring and listening to Bobby Petrino talk, and I went to that press conference, and he said the key with Mallett and Lamar Jackson, they could check to run plays. I mean, they were so good at getting them out of a bad play into something that was going to punish the defense. And so that's the part that you and it's not easy. And he's in a new offense, and it's all new system, all new verbiage. So it's not like, okay, he's a bad player. He's learning. And that's how you win on the road in the SEC, is that you don't put your team at a disadvantage by running a pass play into coverage. It's like if they're going to drop, if they're dropping 7, just run it down their throat because you've got the running game.
Clay, you always cautioned me to not talk too much offense, talk some defense. We're going to see how Travis Williams responds after what happened last year in Fayetteville, 48-10. He's going back home, place where he played, place where he coached. They didn't have a good showing last week. I tend to think they'll play well, but I wanted your thoughts on Arkansas's defense today with just some issues in the secondary because of injuries with 2 starters out in Hudson Clark and Jaylen Braxton.
Yeah, and that's with the soft nature of the secondary with those injuries, do you want to expose them? And when I say that, if you're going to blitz and if you're going to run, cover 0, which he loves, he ran it almost 50% of the time. I don't think they've run that 50% of the time this year. I think it's been way down. They've covered and rushed 4. Now you've got a young quarterback, and the coaching manual says you blitz the young ones, you cover against the veterans. And I get that. Alan Bowman is as veteran as it got. They did not send extra guys against him. Are they going to do that today and expose that, the tender nature of, a beat-up secondary? I think they will. And I think you pick your spots. I mean, you go back to 1970, Arkansas played Jim Plunkett, and they blitzed him incredibly high rate in the first quarter, gave up 4 touchdown passes. And they got out of that, almost came back and won it. So, I mean, you got to be smart with it, and if they're picking it up, they'll probably get out of it.
Clay Henry's dropping some knowledge here on Arkansas Game Day. You can call or text us at 877-377-6963. Clay, as we let you go today, Arkansas's had issue in one-score games. We know that's been a thing the last 2 years or so. I tend to think this thing's going to be close. We saw a little bit of a improvement in the kicking game last week from Ramsey. How do you think special teams plays today on the plains of Auburn?
Yeah, it's a critical aspect. It is so important when you go on the road, and you can win games in special teams and you can lose games in special teams. They dropped a punt, they roughed a kicker in the last 2 games, so they got to clean that up, and that's a big part of what today will be about.
Clay, we'll leave it there, man. I know you got stuff to do today. Have fun with Sarah hanging out a little bit, and we'll chat later on.
Okay, safe travels, Ty.
Thanks, buddy. That is Clay Henry again, the man, the myth, the legend, kind enough to make some time for us here on a college football Saturday. We're live at Jordan Hare Stadium. Really appreciate the Stadium Shop on Razorback and Sawyer's Sunrooms for sponsoring our pregame coverage all season long, as well as Eastside Liquor taking us behind enemy lines. When we return, one more segment till the 10 o'clock hour. We've got Jacob Goins, who's going to join us at 10, talk a little Auburn. This is Arkansas Game Day. Stay with us. We got a long way to go.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
$11,000 off on remaining 2023 GMC Sierras, or up to $7,000 off on remaining GMC Yukon XLs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. These are the largest factory discounts in years, so hurry before they're gone. Plus up to $6,500 off on in-stock 2024 GMC Sierras. Conquer the road with confidence in a GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
It's Arkansas Game Day.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Big C coming to you live from Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. What a day to buy a vehicle. State sales tax paid going on through Monday. And I tell you what, that is a lot of money you can save on a pre-owned vehicle, all qualifying for state sales tax paid, and they've got a loaded lot full of options for you. And if your credit score isn't great, don't worry, they will work with you, and they will make sure they get you the best interest rate on your next vehicle purchase. If you're looking to trade, they always give you more for your trade here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith, always online at harryrobinson.com. State sales tax paid now through Monday.
The Big Ten is up during the 3-day fall hunting and tent sale, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Jelco Outdoors.
Hunting seasons are almost here, so we've got our deer feeders on sale. We've got the capsule 400-pound deer feeder on sale for $2.99, was regularly $3.99. We've got deer corn, we've got nut grub, we've got ground blinds, ladder stands, we've got targets on sale. Got the Winchester XPR 300 Legend bolt-action rifle while they last for $499.99.
It's the big fall hunting and tent sale, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you can restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Did you know that almost 80% of all advertising is spent on digital? This is Dale Daniels, Digital Sales Manager for ESPN Arkansas, and due to the growth in digital advertising, we have the opportunity for the right person to join our team. Digital and radio advertising go hand in hand, and we're looking for someone to help businesses grow with this powerful combination. If you have experience in broadcast and digital marketing or business development, we want to hear from you. Email your resume to sales@hitthatline.com. Pearson Broadcasting is an equal opportunity employer.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Jackson saw sweep, got a hole at the 5, touchdown. To Quindon Jackson, touchdown Arkansas.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
Jackson right side, big hole, touchdown Arkansas.
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Yeah, Coach Petrino offense is like exciting to see. It's a show. We're going to bring a show.
I don't know where I felt like it. Get a little drink around here, do you, bud?
ESPN Arkansas is behind enemy lines in Auburn thanks to Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. This is Arkansas Game Day.
All right, we welcome you back inside Jordan-Hare Stadium for Arkansas Game Day, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by Sawyer's Sunrooms. Great conversation with Clay Henry per usual. Clay always brings in and appreciate him jumping in with us this morning. Jacob Goins is going to join us in hour number 2. We're going to talk a little Arkansas-Auburn coming up with him. He'll give us a little more of a Tigers perspective as they are getting ready for the game today. It's cool, Colton, as the stadium, as you watch it get set up, not everything is how it is to go. It's kind of like Sanford Stadium. They've got the hedges around the different I guess through the goal line, through the goal line to goal line, both places. This really is one of the cooler places in college football, and hopefully there's a lot of unhappy fans that exit later on about 6 o'clock.
Absolutely. You said it. Around 6 o'clock, I'm really hoping to see just a plethora of surrender cobras
Cries,
and tears. It'd be really nice to get a couple of memes just out of our game. That'd be great. Ones that we can use forever. I'm really looking forward to that. But, man, you said it. Just that environment, and you were talking about it a little bit during the break with Clay, but just that calm before the storm, before, the gladiators enter the arena and all the fans are there to watch the battle that's about to take place. It's a very special moment. I'm glad you get to be up there this morning and find some peace before,
the havoc.
Before the havoc that's about to interrupt.
And speaking of havoc, so they've got this countdown clock for the game today. I wonder as we count down towards the Razorbacks playing the Tigers at 2:30. Taylor Green's been in a road environment already in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I got news for you. There's 30,000 plus more fans here in Auburn, Alabama, and it's a lot more hostile than what he faced in Stillwater. Now, he was pretty good. Like, we got to give him credit. His first road game as a Razorback, he looked pretty good. Missed some throws, missed some keys, but what I heard from Steven Dix, what I heard from every other player this week, I mean, Xavier Sawyer, who's played in the SEC at Georgia, it's like it's grown man ball. I'm curious. I mean, Talon is not going to have as many scramble opportunities. He's not going to be able to frolic around in the backfield as much as he can against some lesser opponents. How he handles himself starting at 2:30, and if they can get off to a hot start like they did in Stillwater.
Yes, you want to see Talon be calm, cool, and collected, able to, show us some of the things that maybe he's been inconsistent through these first 4 weeks, through these first 3 weeks. Look, 1/4 of the season is already gone. So the Razorbacks have shown us a lot of really good things that we can kind of depend on as being a staple of what they're going to try and do, their identity. They want to grind it out. They want to be tough. They want to fly around on defense. but you've also can't become, just one-dimensional. And so Taylon's got to improve some of that verticality in his passing game, be able to hit those guys. Matt Jones had told us this week that he thinks that Taylon maybe just feel a little bit uncomfortable right now throwing across the middle, and he's got to be able to do that, especially in Bobby's offense where those receivers are schemed wide open several times a game. So you definitely want to see that. And I mean, really, every interview we've heard from this kid, every time there's a microphone in front of his face, every soundbite, every clip, I mean, you want this kid to be successful. You really do. He's excited to be here, excited for this opportunity, wanted to link up with Bobby for such a long time, and now he can. And you want to see all that hard work and everything pay off for him.
Yeah, and I think for Taylon Green, even if he makes a mistake like he did in Stillwater and he did last week, he's got to respond. There will be a mistake that he makes today, and it could cost Arkansas a turnover, to be
Short
honest.
memory, like a goldfish, baby.
Yep, exactly. That's a great way to put it. All right, we got an hour and a half more of Arkansas Game Day again live at Jordan-Hare Stadium, presented by the Stadium Shop Auto Razorback and by Sawyer's Sunrooms. Appreciate Eastside Liquor and Fort Smith taking us behind enemy lines. We'll talk more Tigers and Hogs on the other side. Stay with us. Always listen. Hit that line now, our app, plus any of our video streams and on ESPN Arkansas. Colton Little, Ty Richardson, taking you through another hour and a half next.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
It's a stunning way to go somewhere new in the 2024 Buick Encore GX from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on the Buick Encore GX. The Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% on the 2024 Buick Encore GX. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Arkansas Game Day. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Big C here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. Right now, they've got state sales tax paid on all their pre-owned inventory through Monday. That's hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars you can save on a pre-owned vehicle, and they have got quite the selection out here. Every time I come out here, it dawns on me like, man, if I was looking for a new or used car, this would be the place to go because of their large selection. You won't be forced to pick something you don't like because, as I just mentioned, they've got everything: cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, and it's never scary at Harry's. They always make it quick and simple. If you're looking to trade in, they always give you more for your trade as well. That's a quick process. So get by here. Go to harryrobinson.com and check it out online.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Missing or broken teeth? Sharp Smiles wants you to start chewing again with dental implants. Scared of the dentist? Sharp Smiles will help you overcome your fear. Big dental problems? Sharp Smiles Modern Dentistry and Implants is your answer to your dental needs and services, where your smile is top priority. Get the smile you have always wanted from the friendly faces at Sharp Smiles, 2600 Market Trace, Suite B, off Jenny Lind across from Harps. For more information, visit the website at sharpsmilesdds.com or call 648-9988.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3010 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Green's going to keep it. Option left. Gets by a defender at the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Visit their website at shoponrazorback.com with the largest selection of Razorback merchandise south of the North Pole. It doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
I got that wood!
Sawyer's, been in business since 1990, locally owned and operated. ESPN Arkansas is behind enemy lines in Auburn thanks to Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Hey, welcome into hour number 2 of Arkansas Game Day, live from Jordan-Hare Stadium. Hogs, Tigers set to do battle at 2:30 later on. Phil Elson, Gino Bell, Rick Schaefer taking the headset from us at 11:30. So you've got me and Colton Little for the next hour and a half. Call or text us 877-377-6963. We go to our text line where we got a thought from Ryan in Y City, or from Parks, Arkansas, I should say. He kind of brought up something that Clay Henry was talking about. Do you think Luke Haas was utilized more last year due to Danny Eno's scheming, and maybe this year Bobby Petrino didn't bring the tight ends? Clay didn't bring anything up about Enos or anything, but he kind of thought that we might see some more targets for Luke today. I wholeheartedly agree. I think he's only got, 7 or 8 catches, Colton, through the first 3 games. This is a kid that we saw a good, healthy dose of last year in about a third of the season. And I would expect, last time he played in a road SEC environment, he went ballistic against LSU. Maybe this is his coming out party his sophomore year against the Tigers.
Quite possibly. I think one of the things that maybe some people aren't quite grasping is that Luke Haas's value to this team, despite the fact that he's not, this pass-catching machine like we all supposed he would be, his value to this offense still has not diminished. If you watch, we are not getting any traction in the run game, or not. I would say not any at all, but not nearly as much without Luke Haas in there, and Pushka, and Ty Washington, and Varkey's Gums. Those guys are all doing a really good job in the blocking game, when we're moving the ball on the ground. And so I think that we really just haven't been able to. I think we've picked our spots to hit these tight ends, but I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if it's been at the exact same time where everything's kind of come together for the perfect time for Taylor to deliver them the football. I think I've seen, Haas being open in the middle of the field. I definitely saw it against UAB a couple times, and we just couldn't get the ball to him. And you definitely want to be able to see that. I don't think it's through lack of opportunity or lack of the scheme that they're not getting targets. We know Bobby Petrino is going to feed the studs and get the ball to his best players, but I think that we just need to be able to have Talon get a little bit more comfortable. And one of the key facets of that is, Ty, this is going to be a really big test for this new retuned offensive line that really was only tested so far this season really one time against Oklahoma State. I mean, it's no knock on UAB or UAPB, but those weren't some of the top caliber lines that we're going to see week in and week out for the rest of the season. Oklahoma State had a good defensive front, but this Auburn group, that defensive line in the box is going to be one of their strengths. They're going to have big boys up there that we're going to have to, keep. We're going to have to make sure that are kept off of Talon and also that can be moved around in the run game. So I'm interested to see how that interior looks with Imarion Harris there as well, and also with Carmona and some of those new guys, how they're able to move around some of these SEC bodies.
I'm also interested how the team responds after a poor showing last week. Yeah. Coach Pitman brought up 2021. They didn't have their best game against Rice. Whooped Texas's tail. Here's Coach earlier this week talking about, hey, we can't let one game control the season.
A couple of years ago, I believe Rice was ahead of us in the fourth quarter, and the next week we beat Texas by 25. You can't have a game that can control what's going to happen the next game. We have to learn from it. We have to get better from it, and that's what I believe we've done.
I'm guilty as anyone on making too much out of the week before or the year before. I know fans do that as well. I've said all week I don't think we'll see the Arkansas team that we saw in Fayetteville, Arkansas, which is it's a bummer because a lot of you paid season tickets or you paid for that game or you watched that game and you didn't feel like you necessarily got your return on your investment. I think in this game today, I'm not saying they're going to win because I've been pretty vocal this offseason and leading up to it. I think Auburn's going to pull out a squeaker. I think it's going to be close, unfortunately. But I think for Arkansas, you're going to get a much better showing than you did last week. And you mentioned Pushka. That's coming back to the injuries. He's out today. Colton, you've got several secondary players. Addison Nichols, who Clay brought up in hour number 1. He is probably going to play, it looks like. I'm going to guess it could go. I say I'm going to guess. It could go like last week where he starts and plays a little bit, but maybe gets in. I mean, ankles linger, man, and I hate it for that kid because look at where Arkansas run the football up the middle, and he's been a big part of opening up holes for Jaquindon Jackson, who's leading the SEC in touchdowns right now.
You definitely want to have your health intact and your team health intact going into the start of SEC play. And it's unfortunate right now that we're missing, some of those pieces in the secondary. But I think that T. Will and Darren Woodson, a lot of those guys in the secondary, they really like some of those young players, the Metcalf brothers and Selman Bridges, and getting an extended run for them today is going to be big, but it's also going to be a big test. I think Auburn is leading the country right now in receivers that have a touchdown catch. I think that there's 9 players have a touchdown catch right now for Auburn. So, they're going to be put to the test today, and in the little bit that we got to see of Hank Brown against New Mexico, New Mexico's not very good, and Hank Brown looked okay. They were obviously dominant on the, in the trenches there for the Tigers, so he didn't really have much pressure in his face, but he made good throws, but he also missed a few. And he's not really that threat to run like Peyton Thorne is. So you want to be able to see this defense get after him today a lot too, but the secondary, those backups, those second stringers, if we're going to send some pressure, they have to be with their guys in their zone if we're playing coverage or on top of their man if we're playing man. So hopefully we have the depth that you want to see here, that we can compete, without guys that are supposed to be our starters. You want to see those second string guys step up and be able to not lose anything on the defensive side of the football.
You mentioned the difference between Hank Brown and Peyton Thorne. Coach also talked on that a little bit last week. Of course, Arkansas got blown out last year 48-10. Here's the differences that your head football coach sees between Brown and Thorne.
I think one game from Brown, but the difference in their offense is really – with Thorne, it was more of a zone read, keep the ball, give the ball, counter read, give the ball, keep the ball. They threw more RPOs with Brown. So it's the same principle. You're giving it or you're throwing it. I think with Thorne, a little bit more they gave it or he kept it. So, and it killed us last year, with him keeping the football. I don't know what he averaged per run, but it was a bunch. And that's really the difference.
it is nice if you're Travis Williams not to also have to game plan for mobile quarterback, and that's what DJ Durkin has to do later on today, Colton. I mean, he's got to account for Taylor Green every single play. There's no play that you can just leave gaps and plays open for him or he'll take advantage. I wonder, we've talked about it all week, what is Auburn going to do defensively to try and stymie the Razorback offense? This will be a potential blueprint for what other SEC teams, if they have success. The good thing is Auburn doesn't have a great defense, so while you are playing an SEC opponent, you're not exactly playing Georgia or Bama week one in terms of what they've had in defense the last few years.
I think through these first 3 games, Arkansas has proven that, even if we are, are actively, trying to pull the trigger away from our own foot, we are moving the football down the field. And so you're right, DJ Durkin's got a lot of work to do. He's probably had a couple of sleepless nights this week because Talon really is someone that it's hard to game plan for. Because if you really think about it, a lot of his touchdowns have been, some of the touchdowns have been design runs, but some of his bigger scrambles have just been him, playing, recess ball. Play breaks down and he's able to be, an improviser and scramble around and make something happen with his legs. And that is not something that I think any defensive coach in the country can really game plan for, is what happens when everything goes out the window. And so that's always going to be to our advantage. But what you can game plan for, and I think what we saw UAB do a little bit, is take every other receiving option out of the game except for number 2. And that's kind of what they did. Yep. And so if Auburn's able to lock down some of our receivers, we're going to have a difficult time today. But I think that we're going to try and focus today on just constantly moving those chains, not getting ourselves in bad positions, and also not having to put Taylor Green in situations where we have to throw 3 or 4 or 5 times in a row on one drive. We want to be able to stay in front of the chains and keep the ball moving forward so we can do a little bit more play action, some waggle stuff, a little bit of that. Because I don't know about you, but I gained my favorite Razorback last week when I saw number 47 put his hand in the dirt in the I formation. Shout out Maddox Lassiter, former Warren Lumberjack. But if we can see some more of that, I'm going to be excited about what this football team can do.
All right, we're going to hear more from Coach Pitman coming up. Again, we're live at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Appreciate the Stadium Shop on Razorback and Sawyer Sunrooms. The Stadium Shop on Razorback, Robert, Elizabeth, Matthew, Raleigh, they own, they operate, they help it out. Come by and see them. It doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Visit their website at shoponrazorback.com. I promise you, there's not a more rabid Razorback fan than Robert Mann. And by Sawyer Sunrooms. Sawyer's for everything outside of the house. Sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, plus decorative concrete. Visit them online at sawyers-sunrooms.com. That's sawyers-sunrooms.com. We are behind enemy line stakes. Our friends at Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. Arkansas Game Day rolls along next.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
$11,000 off on remaining 2023 GMC Sierras, or up to $7,000 off on remaining GMC Yukon XLs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. These are the largest factory discounts in years, so hurry before they're gone. Plus up to $6,500 off on in-stock 2024 GMC Sierras. Conquer the road with confidence in a GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Arkansas Game Day.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Big C coming to you live from Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. It's never scary at Harry's because they do their very best to make sure you leave happy, and they don't want to tell you no. If you've gone somewhere else and they've told you no, that's not what they're about here at Harry's. They want to get you in a new or used vehicle. Right now, they've got state sales tax paid going on their used inventory. And every time I come by here, I'm just amazed at how many options they have. This lot is full, and State sales tax paid going on right now on all their pre-owned. That's hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars you can save. And if you're looking to trade, they always give you more for your trade. And don't be discouraged about if your credit score is not great. They want to hook you up. So get by here right now. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith, or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Jackson saw sweep, got a hole at the 5, touchdown! Jaquindon Jackson, touchdown, Arkansas! You need a hole! Yeah!
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
Jackson right side, big hole, touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyers, everything for outside the house.
Yeah, Coach Petrino offense is like exciting to see. It's a show. We're going to bring a show.
I don't know where I felt like it. Get a little drink around here, do you, bud?
ESPN Arkansas is behind enemy lines in Auburn thanks to Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Colin, you've got a fan. Bruce in Nashville said the new guy's good. I'm assuming he's talking about you.
I paid Bruce off, so thank you, Bruce. Your check will be in the mail later on this week.
It's Arkansas Game Day live from Jordan-Hare Stadium. JT in Hot Springs texting in. Luke has 5 catches on 7 targets this season. He needs to be involved more, no turnovers, and be physical. He has the Hogs winning by 18, 38-20 is what JT is thinking ahead. Jamie in Fayetteville asking if we can get a Buttercup reference. I don't know what that is in reference to, so you might have to, Jamie, you might have to fill me in on that. You can call or text us at 877-377-6963. Again, 877-377-6963. We've got text not just all over the state, but we've got other people that have been texting us this morning as they make their way to Auburn, Alabama. I mentioned this early in the program. This is not a sellout today. In fact, there's a lot of tickets right now that are really reasonable, like $10 or so to get in the door, and they're good seats. I was a little surprised at that, Colton. I don't know. I guess they're getting, like we were talking about in the last hour, getting ready for Oklahoma next week. Big game in the SEC today as the Oklahoma Sooners take on the Tennessee Volunteers. Josh Heupel coming home, place he won the national championship, place he was coached, but a place he was also fired. So that's the game of the day in the Southeastern Conference. Let's go to the phone lines, and let's welcome in Cody. He's in Rector this morning. Cody, you're on Arkansas Game Day. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good, my man.
I am I'm ready to see what Green can do today. I think what he had problem with last week against UAB was not hitting the wide open targets.
Uh-huh.
We had a lot of receivers running downfield, and they were open, but he wasn't making the right reads. But I see him improving this week. I think Bobby Petrino will have him ready. But that's the biggest thing Green's got to work on, is hitting those open guys downfield, because we have the run game to open those receivers up. It's just he's got to be able to hit those guys downfield.
No, Cody, I think you're spot on, and I think what was frustrating for him is, like you said, these. It's not like he didn't have anyone open. I mean, there was two. I counted at least 2 touchdowns, and I also look at some of the other plays. Now we do have to give him credit. The wide receivers had 5 or 6 drops in that game too. So I think it was Clay yesterday that said 16 of 26 or 17 of 26 sounds a lot better than 11 of 26, and he's right.
Sure does.
There's a major difference on that when it comes to the end of stat sheet, Taylon Green, and how it concluded. But Cody's, I mean, I think with his thought process, he's accurate. Like you've got to be in a situation, and I think you're going to be in a situation today, Colton, where Bobby Petrino is going to find guys open, and they're going to get open, and you've got to make those plays on the plains of Auburn today.
Absolutely, and especially with it being today. I think we have seen Taylon flash a lot of really great stuff. He's got that body type, that athleticism. Really, what now I think we can kind of almost close the book on it. The thing that's holding him back is those 6 inches between his ears. Ty, you ever remember, you ever have to shoot a technical foul shot where, you were at the line all by yourself and there's nobody else there? You'd think the pressure would be diminished, but it's not. And it's the same thing. When there's a wide open receiver, I feel like sometimes as a quarterback, that can, you can get a little bit of a deer in the headlights look. And Taylon's not been in a lot of these situations. One of the things that coming over from Boise State that was a huge knock on him was that he is not as accurate and consistent as he needs to be. Under the tutelage of Bobby Petrino.
The mic's going off here, Colton.
Oh, heck no, you're good.
The loudspeaker.
Under the tutelage of Bobby Petrino, you'd think that you could take just about anybody, any Joe Schmo off the corner of the street, and turn him into a serviceable quarterback. But look, he's not a wizard. He's not God, Jesus Christ, or the Easter Bunny. So he's got a lot of stuff that he needs to work on. And Taylon Green is going to be able to, improve a little bit as the season goes on. But through 3 weeks of the season, we've shown that he has the body type, the ability. He has to be able to be there, with his mind. He's got to be able to make those throws when he sees them, put it on a laser right there. And he's capable. He has the physical tools. It's not like we're talking about Taylon throws a bad ball or that he's mechanically all over the place. He's got a little bit of things he needs to work on, but this is a guy that has the ability. It's just not always coming together all at the right time, and you have to be able to do that, especially like you said, Ty, today. And you mentioned this, about how this is a huge environment. There's going to be 30,000 more people there than we saw on the road in Stillwater. And one of the things in Stillwater, some of that environment, that might have made, kicker Kyle Ramsey a little bit nervous. And look, today, we're going to need Kyle to make all of his PATs and every field goal opportunity that he's going to be able to trot it out there for to kick, because they're going to have eagles flying around in those stupid orange and white pom-poms, pretty sorority girls behind the goalpost. Like, you've got to make it. You got to make it.
Yep, and there are a lot of distractions. Again, this is definitely an uptick from what you saw in Stillwater, Oklahoma a couple weeks ago, and not just for Ramsey, but for Taylon and that Arkansas offense. This is going to be much more of a potent crowd later on at 2:30 today. Again, the schedule for today is as follows. Phil Elson, Gino Bell, Rick Schaefer taking over from us in about an hour, and, of course, they'll hand the headsets over to Chuck Barrett and Quinn Grovey. And then Arkansas Game Day will follow with legendary Arkansas quarterback and our teammate Matt Jones, as well as Zach Arns. That will be your postgame. We'll check in. Hopefully, I'll be in a good shipper mood following this game. We'll have to see later. And they are testing the louds. I apologize if you guys can hear that in the background. They are testing the loudspeaker. They are testing just about everything here. Good grief. Let's talk to Robert, who's in Fayetteville this morning. He's got some thoughts on Luke Haas. Robert, welcome into Arkansas Game Day, man. Good to have you.
Taking the call, part one, or this is the question. I heard y'all talking about Haas just a minute ago. I'm started to believe myself, and y'all may have touched on it. Do you guys think that they're not getting him the ball because that may be the deal, is they are keeping him in for protection, that they need him more for blocking than they're getting him the ball?
So
is that why we're not seeing him get the ball?
He has blocked on some. I mean, he caught that long touchdown against Oklahoma State late in the fourth quarter, Robert. I'm going to be honest. I haven't paid attention to every play, what his assignment is. I'm looking at the quarterback more often than not. But I would guess, without looking at the film, as Coach likes to say, or any other coach likes to say, that there are some situations where he gets left in for more pass blocking protection, and I don't know if that's like game by game. I don't know if that's something. Golly, it's loud here. I don't know if that's something that he plans on doing the rest of the way, referring to Coach Petrino. But yeah, I would guess that's a part of it, Robert.
Robert,
Well,
me, go ahead, Robert.
No, you go ahead. I want your opinion.
Well, Robert, I think that I think we would all be remiss to say that the coaches up there are naive enough to think that, well, we got to get this Luke Haas guy more involved in the run game. He's just a so-so pass catcher. I really don't think that it's more along the lines of they're trying to get him more involved in the run game than the pass game. I really just think that we have missed the opportunities that Luke Haas has been available to catch and that he's been open on. I don't think that we've had everything culminate together to give Taylor Green the comfortable pocket that he needs, or maybe we've missed an assignment on the offensive line, or somebody else was open. I really don't know if we're scheming them out of the offense as much as it is that we just haven't hit the opportunities that have been presented.
See, I'm wondering if you're right. I'm wondering if he's read number 3 and he's not getting time to get to his third read, or if they're just so desperate to keep the defensive guys from getting to him that they're keeping him for pass protection, and just for run protection or whatever, blocking. Because you're right, the guy's talented, and Petrino's not afraid to use the tight end. I've seen that in history, and Arkansas's had great tight ends, but it just seems like either he's not getting the read to where he sees Haas, or Petrino needs him to block more than they do to throw him the ball. But you got one or two receivers that can catch, I mean, he's probably one of the best catchers we have.
You think about the luxury that Coach Petrino had back in 2009, 2010, 2011 with Jarius and Chris and Greg and Joe and those guys. You got one alpha dude out there. That's number 2, Andrew Armstrong. I like, but they're not the same players, and there's some other guys that you like, but they're not the same equivalent. So you hope that there is more of a push towards throwing the ball Luke's way, but their pass pro hasn't been great. Coach Pitman alluded to it not just this week, but in previous weeks, like against zero blitz when they're bringing the house, they haven't looked good. They've given up a lot of sacks, and so I would guess that has played a role in why he hasn't caught as many balls this year. Robert, appreciate the call, brother, and appreciate you being a part of Arkansas Game Day coverage all season long.
He's a goat, man. Hey, Ty, speaking of Robert and just stuff on Stadium Shop, what's the how long do I have to wait before I start getting there, getting a little kickback, some free stuff? What do I got to do? How long? A couple more months, or what?
That's a good question. I will. You should relay that question to Robert. He always seems to find a healthy discount when I hit the register. I have my favorite hat is from the Stadium Shop. I've got my hog hat that's currently here that may or may not get sported tonight if they win, and then my favorite Razorback hat, the sweater hog, which is the hog lean on the A that me and Robert always talk about. That's my favorite hat. I've got 20 hats in my closet. That's my favorite one. My favorite polos are from the Stadium Shop on Razorback. So, Robert, again, take Matthew, Robert, Elizabeth. They can take care of you. The Stadium Shop on Razorback, South Razorback right down from Baum-Walker Stadium. All right, we're going to take a short break, and also our pregame coverage is also presented by Sawyer's Sunrooms as well. Buzz and his team take care of everything you need for outside the house. When we return, we're going to talk Auburn. Jacob Goins joins us. He hosts an afternoon radio show across the plains. Get his thoughts on this matchup later on today as we're live from Jordan-Hare Stadium. It's Arkansas Game Day.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Big C out here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. Rodney, another day, another state sales tax paid going on, all pre-owned vehicles. And I'll tell you what, if someone's looking for a vehicle, they've been told no somewhere else, and their credit score is not great, you guys will tell them yes, and you have options to back that up.
That's right, Christian. We got over 300 used vehicles in stock. Used, we got a nice selection of cars, SUVs, trucks, big and heavies. We've got it all. Get in here, do yourself a favor, save that state sales tax pay. Could be up thousands of dollars. That's money you actually save, you get back for your state sales tax. So it's not a gimmick. It's not financed in. That is us writing you a check for your state sales tax, or if you're in Oklahoma, your excise tax. So get in here.
Come see Rodney here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. Check out the new Wacker Newson ST45 at Sharp Equipment. It's bigger, bolder, and is ideal for lifting and loading. The vertical path lift arm allows for easy load placement in demanding applications where reach and height is a requirement. For compact, heavy equipment with a great deal of power, visit them and check out the new Wacker Newson lineup at Sharp Equipment, 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or call them at 479-242-1406.
Ty Richardson for the #1 liquor store in the River Valley, Eastside Liquor. It's football season and the Hogs are back, baby. Plus your favorite NFL team. If you need beers for the boys, seltzers for the ladies, or brown water for the big-time wins, Dave and his entire team at Eastside Liquor can take care of you today. 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Convenient drive-through and always have what you're looking for. Plus a new bigger and better location is on the way. The game's always better after stopping by Eastside.
Come celebrate autumn in the natural state with Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Crabtree RV Center is having their big fall sale October 10th through the 13th. There will be special pricing and door prizes along with our experienced, knowledgeable staff to help you pick the perfect RV for your family. Come see why we've been voted the best of the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas. So mark your calendars for October 10th through the 13th and don't miss out on the big fall sale. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Jackson toss sweep, got a hole at the 5, touchdown! Jaquindon Jackson, touchdown, Arkansas!
You need a ball,
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff.
Jackson right side, big hole, touchdown Arkansas!
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Yeah, Coach Petrino offense is like exciting to see. It's a show. We're going to bring a show.
I don't know where I felt like it. Get a little drink around here, do you, bud?
ESPN Arkansas is behind enemy lines in Auburn thanks to Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Back here on Arkansas Game Day live from Auburn, Alabama, Jordan-Hare Stadium. We got a treat. Get a chance to talk with Jacob Goins, on the line host from 2 to 4, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn, Opelika. Jacob, appreciate you making some time for us this Saturday morning. I know you guys kind of flipped the page earlier this week on Wednesday. What's been the conversation across Alabama when it comes to the Arkansas Razorbacks? Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, man. Great to be with you, and glad that you're able to make the trip here to the Plains. It's one of your favorite places.
Oh,
I know that. So, no, the conversation just on Arkansas in general, I'll be honest, is they should be 3-0. I mean, that should be an undefeated team that's walking into Jordan-Hare Stadium today, and there's a lot of people making the argument that Auburn could be 3-0. I'm not going to necessarily say should, but look, I don't have to tell you guys, Arkansas had that game against Oklahoma State in their hands, and they blew it. And I hate to see that for them, but it's just how it went down. And so I think the jury is still out on what Arkansas truly is. There's no secret that extremely talented at quarterback, have a couple of dudes who could run the football, and defensively, they get after it. And so this is by far the most talented team Auburn has seen so far this season. And I think if you're Arkansas, you've got to be feeling pretty good since you have that Oklahoma State game under your belt. Even if it is a loss, you're not going into Jordan-Hare and thinking, man, we haven't seen a talented team like this just yet. So in terms of what people here have been saying about Arkansas, I think we're still trying to figure out exactly what they are.
Jacob, tell us about Hank Brown. Our audience has heard a little bit about the redshirt freshman this week. He takes over for Peyton Thorne, who orchestrated a whooping last year in Fayetteville. 2 games in, not what Hugh Freeze and company wanted. Why the switch, and what can you tell us about the redshirt freshman?
Well, I think the switch was made because Peyton Thorne's been a starting quarterback in Power 4 football for 4 years now, and it's still sort of the same story. He turned it over too many times. He wasn't making the right decisions, and when the lights came on, there were times where he performed really well and other times that he didn't. And I think the inconsistency was really starting to frustrate. Well, I know it was starting to frustrate the fan base, but I think it was beginning to frustrate head coach Hugh Freeze, Derek Nix, the offensive coordinator. I mean, it seemed to be really starting to get to this staff. And you got to remember, guys, this is Peyton Thorne, who Hugh Freeze believed in since the spring, brought him to SEC Media Days back in Dallas in July, and has really put everything he has on Peyton Thorne. And just 2 weeks in, he decided to make a change. And it made sense to do it if you were going to do it a week ago, because it was New Mexico. Trying to come into the game today and start Hank Brown for the first time against Arkansas just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And so I think Auburn did a really good job in giving him the reins early last week, letting him go through the entire week of practice, and Hank Brown came out and performed last Saturday and played good enough. I'm not going to say he put up Heisman numbers and whatever, because it was New Mexico. I mean, they statistically had the worst defense in college football. So he did exactly what he was supposed to do. The ball looks really good coming out of his hand. Hugh Freeze said he made all the right checks, all the right decisions, had a couple of throws that got errant, and against a better defense would probably get picked off like an Arkansas team today. But overall, Hank Brown did exactly what he was supposed to do. And more importantly, Auburn got back to running the football last week, which I think they'll do again today. They should if they want to have a chance to beat Arkansas. So I think Arkansas fans should expect a gunslinger, a very confident, I'm not going to say cocky, but a guy that's got a lot of swag does Hank Brown, and I can't wait to see his first real test against Arkansas later this afternoon.
Arkansas has not gotten to the quarterback well this season, but they have stopped the run. You mentioned Auburn's effectiveness last week running the football. How does that kind of counter between the two with you're still trying to ease in a redshirt freshman, but if Arkansas stops the run, what's that look like for Brown trying to acclimate to an SEC defense, Jacob?
Well, there's been a lot of questions on what Arkansas will do defensively. Do they stack the box with 6, 7, 8 guys and just sell out to stop Jarquez Hunter, who was a first-team All-SEC preseason running back? Do they do that, or do they drop back and say, all right, let's pick apart this new quarterback? And if Arkansas sells out for the run, then I believe Hank Brown is good enough to make some plays with his arm. I think Auburn has the receivers to make plays today. As long as everybody is back 100% healthy, ready to go, I think Auburn has the playmakers to be good enough. And the offensive line, you're getting a couple of guys back, including Isaiah Tall-Miller, who will be back on the offensive line today. So if Arkansas just loads the box and sells out for the run, I think Hank Brown's good enough to make some plays. If they drop back, then I'm hoping that Hank Brown can make the right decisions, and Auburn should be able to run for quite a few yards today.
Jacob Goins is our guest here on Arkansas Game Day. He hosts On the Line Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 on ESPN 1067 across Auburn. Opelika is also the voice of the Auburn High Tigers. I wonder, Jacob, I want to talk some quarterback with you as well, but real quick, give us a sense. Like, Razorback fans always wonder about high school talent in the state. Auburn can go an hour and a half, hour 45 to Atlanta. What terrain does Auburn recruit, not just in Alabama, but outside the state as well?
Yeah, you hit on it. I mean, Atlanta, the state of Georgia, has been a really, really big feeding ground, even in Florida, too. I mean, Hugh Freeze has proven that, and not just Hugh Freeze, just in Auburn's history, but Hugh Freeze in particular, he's proven that, look, and he stated it as well, he wants to win the state of Alabama. He wants to try and win back to cities like Birmingham and Mobile and Huntsville that have just been dominated by Nick Saban and Alabama my entire lifetime. But outside of this state, Mississippi's been a big breeding ground for Auburn. Georgia's been a big breeding ground for Auburn. And the state of Florida has as well. But Hugh Freeze has proven he's not afraid to go outside of this, southeastern circle to go and get players, kids out of California or Missouri or Ohio or Pennsylvania or wherever they need to go to find the best players in college football. How about Arkansas? I mean, Auburn has a quarterback right now on the roster that's from the state of Arkansas and Walker White. So Auburn hasn't been afraid to step out of this state, but it's no secret that Hugh Freeze wants to win back the state of Alabama before they do have to go outside and find something else.
I mentioned wanting to talk quarterback with you. Let's do that now. Taylon Green comes in, playing his worst game of the season. He's only had 3 as a sample size, but looked really good in Stillwater. Had some passes he missed, especially down the stretch, that I think a lot of them would credit to just how tired he was as many times as he ran the football. What challenges does he present DJ Durkin's defense heading into this game at 2:30 today?
My goodness, he presents a lot, man. There's no doubt. I mean, he's one of those 2024 quarterbacks where if you let him throw, he'll pick you apart. If you let him run, he's going to run for a mile. I mean, he's just that type of quarterback that Auburn saw a little bit of against New Mexico last week. I think Dampier was a better passer a week ago with New Mexico than Taylon Green is, but I think Green is a much, much more elusive quarterback, is speedier, just gets out of tackles, gets away from tacklers. From what I've been able to see so far, Ty, that's what he looks like to me. He looks like your typical 2024 college football quarterback who can beat you with his arm and beat you with his leg. And so, look, Hugh Freeze has taken a lot of heat this week and trying to protect DJ Durkin as the defensive coordinator, because Auburn a week ago, they dropped a lot of people back in coverage, rushing 3, a lot of 3-3-5 defense, which works at times, but Auburn fans got mighty frustrated against California and against New Mexico because those quarterbacks both had really, really good days. And it wasn't the big 25, 30 yarders, but 6 and 7 yarders here and there, time and time again. And so if Auburn does that again today and lets Green get comfortable, get his feet underneath him a little bit, he could have quite a few completions, and then Arkansas could try and go over the top. Auburn has to find a way to get pressure on the quarterback, bring guys like Keldrick Falk off the edge, Jalen McLeod. Let those guys eat today, because if not, Green's good enough as a quarterback. I don't have to tell you guys. He can beat just about anybody in this league by himself. So Auburn's got to get after him today.
Weapons-wise, you haven't had a ton outside of Andrew Armstrong and Jaquindon Jackson for the Razorbacks. Are they good enough, those two, along with Green, to get it done in Auburn today, that trio?
I think so. I mean, I think so, and I think Vegas agrees with that. And the spread has been right in between 2 and 4 points pretty much all week long. And I've said it all week on ESPN here in Auburn, Opelika. If Auburn doesn't play good, they will lose this game. And Hugh Freeze has been preaching to the Auburn fans that this team is not talented enough to play poorly and win football games. So, yeah, absolutely. I think that combination of Arkansas athletes is definitely good enough to come in here and win inside of Jordan-Hare Stadium, which historically has been a really tough place to play. But the last few times a game has taken place there, it hasn't been all that great because of the product on the field. When you have teams like California and New Mexico State that come in and win inside Jordan-Hare, yeah, Arkansas can definitely do it today.
Jacob Goins, again, our guest, Auburn, Opelika, ESPN host, 106.7 of On the Line from 2 to 4 weekdays, very similar to us here at ESPN Arkansas. Jacob, I think about like an overall look at the SEC. Georgia and Texas, probably top dogs. That game will take place in Austin here in a couple weeks. Another big one in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where the Dogs and Crimson Tide will go at it. But as we're 3 weeks in and we're embarking on week 4 today, what are your thoughts on the SEC?
I think Tennessee's a sleeper. I think, and I normally have been burned so many times on buying in on that Tennessee team because they always pull up Tennessee, right? They always do something to hurt themselves and knock themselves out of any sort of postseason conversation. But it's funny because I think on Wednesday I was looking through their schedule during my show, and I'm like, man, their schedule's not that bad. Like, they play at Oklahoma today. They have Alabama on the schedule at home, and then they play at Georgia. So win one of those 3 games, take care of business, and Tennessee's a playoff team, just like that. So I look at them. You mentioned the top dogs of Georgia and Texas. I think Bama, Ole Miss are obviously up there as well, probably just one tier below those other two. I mean, look at the top 10, the top 15, the top 20 right now. It's dominated by the Southeastern Conference. Will that still be the case by the end of the season? No, because teams will play each other and somebody has to lose. But, yeah, the playoff committee is going to have a really hard time leaving numerous SEC teams out of the college football playoff. And for the college football world that's been so upset with the SEC for getting 2 teams into a 4-team playoff, man, imagine what's going to start happening and how they're going to feel when this conference gets 5 and 6 teams in, because I think all of those teams that we just named didn't even talk about Missouri, right? A team that if they continue winning, they'll be in the conversation too. Is it too early to tell exactly what everybody's going to be? Yeah, I think so. But so far, man, this conference looks as dominant as it's ever been, Todd.
Let's come back to this game today at 2:30. If Auburn or Arkansas lose, let's just say the loser of this game, do they make a bowl? Tell me about the Tigers. Tell me about the Hawks. Do they make a bowl if they lose this game? Let's go Arkansas first.
Wow. So the loser, do they make a bowl game? Arkansas, man, that's so tough, and especially when you look back at what they had just 2 weeks ago with Oklahoma State, because now, right, correct me if I'm wrong, they go A&M on the road next week before they welcome in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yep. That's right. Neutral site. Then LSU. I know Ole Miss is still on that schedule. Missouri's
Texas.
on that schedule.
Yep.
Texas. Oh gosh, man. Woo. I'm gonna say no, Ty. I'm gonna say no. I think if Arkansas loses this game today, I don't think they make a bowl game because look, and I hate to say this about my own team, but if you can't beat Auburn, what gives me any confidence that you can beat A&M or Texas or Ole Miss or Missouri? I don't have that confidence in Arkansas.
What about the Tigers? If they lose to Arkansas later on today, which, as you just mentioned, is very possible. I mean, there's a reason this game is as low as it is line-wise. You feel confident that Freeze's squad is going to make a bowl with 2 losses in 4 games?
I think so. Just because the schedule is still manageable. It's not easy by any means, and the first few games are easier compared to the rest of the schedule, especially with a 5-game homestand to start, which would be depressing, to say the least, if Auburn splits the first 4 of those. I think you still have an opportunity with Oklahoma next week, even if Auburn loses today. You still have Kentucky on that schedule. You still have A&M. You still have another cupcake in there. You do have Vanderbilt on that schedule, too. I mean, look, if Auburn loses today against Arkansas, they've got to go out and beat somebody they're not supposed to beat, whether that be Georgia, Missouri, Bama. Like, you have a lot of work cut out for you. Oklahoma next week, too. I mean, the work would be cut out, but I would give Auburn a better chance to make a bowl game if they don't get it done against the Hogs today versus Arkansas trying to get there if they don't beat Auburn this afternoon.
Jacob, we'll leave it there. We appreciate you joining us on Arkansas Game Day. Looking forward to a great game ahead in Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Yeah, man. Always great to talk to you, and I appreciate the time.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
And by
Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Hey, Hawk fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb-based brands.
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Arkansas Game Day.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Big C out here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, X11 I-540 in Fort Smith. Great day to buy specifically a pre-owned vehicle. You guys are doing state sales tax paid, and that speaks for itself, man. That's a lot of money the customer can save just by getting a pre-owned vehicle. Large selection.
Huge selection out here. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, sports cars, whatever you're looking for, we've got them out here. And like you said, state sales tax is paid on all of our pre-owned right now. That's us taking care of it for you. We're not adding it to the price. We're not financing it in. It's just us cutting a check for state sales tax, and you get to take advantage of it.
That's right, Chad. And you always give more for your trade here as well. If you're looking to go that route, looking to trade in your vehicle, get some money out of it, they will make sure you get what it's worth. Go to harryrobinson.com, check it out online. State sales tax paid going on through Monday. Come see Chad right now.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Bartley.
Are you interested in saving money on your heating bills and upgrading your home's energy efficiency? Now's the time. Installing or upgrading to natural gas allows you to take advantage of high-efficiency appliances that save energy and money. From furnaces to water heaters to gas dryers and fireplaces, there's a natural gas option to fit your home and your budget. What's not to love about that? Don't wait. Call AOG today at 800-842-5690 or visit AOGC.com to learn more. AOG, energy for life.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey and Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey and Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit KevinHickeyLaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Missing or broken teeth? Sharp Smiles wants you to start chewing again with dental implants. Scared of the dentist? Sharp Smiles will help you overcome your fear. Big dental problems? Sharp Smiles Modern Dentistry and Implants is your answer to your dental needs and services, where your smile is top priority. Get the smile you have always wanted from the friendly faces at Sharp Smiles, 2600 Market Trace, Suite B, off Jenny Lind across from Harps. For more information, visit the website at sharpsmilesdds.com or call 648-9988.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Jackson saw sweep, got a hole at the 5, touchdown. Jaquindon Jackson, touchdown, Arkansas. You need a hole,
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
Jackson right side, big hole, touchdown, Arkansas.
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Yeah, Coach Petrino offense is like exciting to see. It's a show. We're going to bring a show.
I don't know where I felt like it. Get a little drink around here, do you, bud?
ESPN Arkansas is behind enemy lines in Auburn thanks to Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. This is Arkansas Game Day.
And we welcome you back for Arkansas Game Day. Still got 30 more minutes, a little longer pregame show today before we hand over the headset to our guys Phil Elson, Gino Bell, and Rick Schaefer. Just got a chance to chat with Coach Z a little while ago, so they are here and ready to go. We'll get a chance to take some more calls coming up. And really appreciate Shelley and the staff here at Auburn allowing us to do this show from Jordan-Hare Stadium, and we got a lot more to talk about. We're going to hear more from Coach Pitman coming up. Still a few sound bites I want to get into from Coach earlier this week. We appreciate Clay Henry and Jacob Goins joining us. And Colton, 30 more minutes. You ready?
Yes, sir.
There it is. There it is. All right, stay with us. Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by Sawyer Sunrooms.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Big C coming to you live from Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. It's never scary at Harry's because they do their very best to make sure you leave happy. And they don't want to tell you no. If you've gone somewhere else and they've told you no, that's not what they're about here at Harry's. They want to get you in a new or used vehicle. Right now, they've got state sales tax paid going on their used inventory. And every time I come by here, I'm just amazed at how many options they have. This lot is full, and state sales tax paid going on right now on all their pre-owned. That's hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars you can save. And if you're looking to trade, they always give you more for your trade. And don't be discouraged about if your credit score is not great. They want to hook you up. So get by here right now. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Come celebrate autumn in the natural state with Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Crabtree RV Center is having their big fall sale October 10th through the 13th. There will be special pricing and door prizes along with our experienced, knowledgeable staff to help you pick the perfect RV for your family. Come see why we've been voted the best of the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas. So mark your calendars for October 10th through the 13th and don't miss out on the big fall sale. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. Also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith. 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Green's going to keep it. Option left. Gets by a defender at the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Visit their website at shoponrazorback.com with the largest selection of Razorback merchandise south of the North Pole. It doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
I got that wood!
Sawyer's, been in business since 1990, locally owned and operated. ESPN Arkansas is behind enemy lines in Auburn thanks to Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Colton, I don't know if you have College Game Day on in the studios this morning, but apparently 5 of the 6 analysts picked the Razorbacks to win a game outside of Kurt Herbstreit. So,
well, what does Kirk Herbstreit know about anything?
Well, I don't know. Well, he picked Arkansas to beat Oklahoma State.
No, Kirk Herbstreit knows a lot, but still, you know, I don't really like being the choice. I like being the underdog more. But hey, 5 out of 6, I'll take that. It's pretty good.
All right, let's talk to Eric. He's at Auburn this morning. He's a Hawk fan. Eric, what's going on, man?
Ty. I got a 2-parter question for you.
Okay.
First off, it's Talon Green's first opportunity to play some SEC opponents today. You know, he's set some highs, some lows, some dumb plays, some highlight plays. I mean, how do you think that's going to go today?
I think Talon, I don't know if he'll play as good as he did in the first half at Stillwater, but I expect him to play well. I think he's frustrated what happened last week. He's a guy that takes a lot of that on his chin, and he puts a lot of pressure on himself. I think that he seems like one of those guys that truly cares about being the Arkansas quarterback, so I expect him to play well today. He's not going to be perfect. Might have a turnover or two, but I expect him to be not. I don't expect him to be the reason that if Arkansas was to fall, that he would be the main cog in that. Eric.
Okay. Second question: is there any truth to this public service announcement that the Auburn students should hide their hot moms from you?
I don't know about that one. Appreciate the call this morning, Eric. We are in the brunette capital of the world, Colton. And there are a lot of attractive females that go to school here. There's no question about that. But this is it really is fun to talk, not obviously just with the females here, but the other fans. I just enjoy talking to SEC football fans. I don't get a sense, and I know you don't like Auburn, but I don't get a sense that Arkansas fans just like hate the Auburn fan base. I think there's a decent rapport with Auburn fans over the years, and after next season, Colton, you won't play these guys starting in 2026, at least for an every year occurrence.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the hatred and some of the disdain we might have for Auburn is because we played them every year in football and every year in every single sport, and now without the East and the West being dissolved in the SEC and everything kind of going up in smoke in terms of that, you're not guaranteed to play these same teams you've been playing every year. You may not see that same type of thing, but I can tell you I'm not a big fan of Auburn at all, and it becomes because of the fact
Tear into them.
Look, here's the deal. They've talked garbage all about this blue blood basketball program they have. No. And then this our football team, we owe them a couple, okay? Especially for some of the stuff, some of the atrocities that I've seen, especially in Jordan-Hare Stadium, some of the performances the Razorbacks have put up there, as well as some of the terrible officiating and things like that. I won't even get into it. But look, Auburn and Arkansas, it's a good SEC matchup. It's two teams that don't like each other. And I think that some of the importance of this game is, I know you said there maybe the Barstool crew is there. There is some implications for this game because I think that, Jacob mentioned it. If you lose this game, your schedule only gets tougher from here for both teams. Next week, Arkansas is going, it's on the road basically to Arlington to play Texas A&M. And then Auburn's got Oklahoma coming in. So everything gets tougher and tougher for the SEC after this. And so both of these teams are looking at each other like, circle win. They're looking at each other thinking this is a very winnable game. So the matter of who comes out on top today, it's going to come down to really, I think, who wants it more and who's going to be able to take care of the ball and, keep themselves in a flow offensively and defensively, shut down the opponent and wreck their entire game plan.
Let's discuss that point you just made about who wants it more. And Tommy's been accurate this week, saying that the loser of this game is probably not going to make a bowl game, and I think that's more of a likelihood for the Razorbacks than it is the Tigers. But who needs this game more? Hugh Freeze in year 2 at home, or Sam Pitman on the road in year 5?
I think that Hugh Freeze at home in year 2. He probably needs this win a little bit more because of the fact that Auburn is just absolutely insane, and they'll fire a coach, on a whim if they feel like it, because they think that they deserve to be in the national championship picture every year because they've been there, and deservedly so. But I think that a lot of people on the Plains trust Hugh Freeze. They may not be getting up for this game at Auburn because it's still early. They don't know what they have in their team right now, but it's big for him. But honestly, I'm going to always look at it through Razorback colored glasses. This game is absolutely huge for Sam and for this Razorback football program. Through this season, the identity of this team, you really haven't established one. You want to run the ball. You have an athletic quarterback. You have some playmakers here or there. But what's been the main key to this team that we've seen so far this season, Ty? Inconsistency. Again. And I think that if the Razorbacks come out and they can prove that, hey, from the time the whistle blows and the ball is kicked off with the funny new kickoff formation, from the time that it's, new, all that stuff is good. From the time that the whistle starts and the game is kicked off, to the time that the clock hits all zeros in the fourth quarter. If Arkansas dominates in convincing fashion, that's a huge win. And that's, I think, a little bit bigger of an impact for our football program than maybe what might be happening on the Plains in Auburn for Hugh Freeze. Because they'll just fall to 2-2, and they've still got some games on their schedule that they can squeak out some wins with. Kentucky and Vanderbilt back-to-back weeks in late October, early November. UL Monroe, maybe they can get a game against A&M, but they've also got to play Georgia and Missouri. So, Auburn's got some opportunities as well, and they might be able to eke out 6 wins. But for Arkansas, your schedule just gets really tough after this. I mean, A&M, Tennessee, you get a break, and then, LSU, maybe, Mississippi State, they don't look very good. You might be able to walk into Starkville and do a good job. You'd hope that right now you think that we're better than them. You got Ole Miss. They've been really a wagon all season, and then, finish off the season with Texas, just one of the best teams in college football this year, and then a Louisiana Tech team that honestly did not look bad against NC State last weekend, and then just to finish it off with a team that's had your number for a long time in Missouri. So your schedule's not getting any easier. This game is huge for the Razorbacks, and if they can't get up today and have a good performance on the road, you're going to be clawing and fighting for everything you get for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think when you bring up the schedule, and I'm as excited as anyone about the home schedule that awaits Arkansas starting the first weekend of October with Tennessee coming to town, but there's no guarantee wins at home. Now, I think Mississippi State, I mean, that's a game you can't afford to lose. That'll be actually a game that Arkansas's favored in. Might be the lone SEC game you're favored in this season, which this Auburn game's pretty close. I think it's 2.5, but the line might have shifted a little bit. But I think for the Razorbacks, you also want to, again, set yourself up for a great home game and a great atmosphere against Tennessee. And I think you could do that at least if you split these next two games. But, I mean, you definitely can't afford to lose the next two, and then you're just going to have an okay atmosphere, which for a team like Tennessee that I think is going to get a win tonight, they'll have a bye week next week. I mean, they're going to come in hungry in Fayetteville. And I was talking with my friend Brett Norsworthy. Some of y'all know him. He does radio in Memphis. Stats is an Arkansas guy. He's a great guy. He's one of my favorite people in the world. Stats, he was talking about this scenario where you win the next two games, game days probably come to Fayetteville because there's a bunch of SEC teams off Colton. There are no top 25 matchups currently across college football that day. And I think Tennessee wins tonight, and I think there's a scenario where that could happen in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. Tennessee takes care of business tonight in Norman. They're going to obviously hold on to one of the top spots that they have even through the bye week. And if Arkansas somehow is able to come into Auburn today and pull some stuff out, pull that monkey off their back, and then go to A&M or go to Arlington and handle business against A&M, well, there's some really good vibes that are going to be around this football program. And I tell you what, this state, the Razorback fans, we need it, and we love when our football team is good, man. And when we have something we can look forward to statewide as on a Saturday, that's something that everybody gets excited about. And to have the opportunity to what would probably be a top 3, top 4 or 5 team in Tennessee come in to try and play you and knock you off this high you've been on the road, or while they're on the road and they're coming into Fayetteville, that's a huge opportunity for you. And as a program, you need to be in that spot. You need to prove that, hey, through September 28th, after we beat Texas A&M in Arlington, and we may be 4-1 at this point, hey, there's only a few months left of the season. Whenever they start talking about that 12, well, hey, you can't count on Arkansas. They've been winning so far. They've got a hard schedule, but you never know. So you have to put yourself in a good position. I'm not saying that Arkansas is capable of that. I really don't think that they are right now, but you never know what could happen, man. College football is absolutely crazy, and you might get a chance to go into Auburn today and beat them by 40. You might be able to do the same thing to A&M next week and really give it to Tennessee. You really don't know. So you have to have the opportunity to be in that position, and you got to go in there and fight today, because if not, I'm telling you this, TV screens across the state will turn off.
Yes.
The rest of the season.
Our number. We got one final segment coming up here at Arkansas Game Day, 877-377-6963. Really appreciate Robert, Elizabeth, Matthew, and their team at the Stadium Shop on Razorback, and Buzz Sawyer and all of his team at Sawyer's Sunrooms. When we return, your calls, your texts, more thoughts from Pitman coming up here live from Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
And by
Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith, or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
It's a stunning way to go somewhere new in the 2024 Buick Encore GX from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on the Buick Encore GX. The Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% on the 2024 Buick Encore GX. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Arkansas Game Day.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Big C out here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC exit 11 I-540 in Fort Smith. Rodney, another day, another state sales tax paid going on, all pre-owned vehicles. And I'll tell you what, if someone's looking for a vehicle, they've been told no somewhere else, and their credit score is not great, you guys will tell them yes, and you have options to back that up.
That's right, Christian. We got over 300 used vehicles in stock. Used, we got a nice selection of cars, SUVs, trucks, big and heavies. We've got it all. Get in here, do yourself a favor, save that state sales tax pay. Could be up thousands of dollars. That's money you actually saved, you get back for your state sales tax. So it's not a gimmick. It's not financed in. That is us writing you a check for your state sales tax, or if you're in Oklahoma, your excise tax. So get in here.
Come see Rodney here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3010 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. Check out the new Wacker Newson ST45 at Sharp Equipment. It's bigger, bolder, and is ideal for lifting and loading. The vertical path lift arm allows for easy load placement in demanding applications where reach and height is a requirement. For compact, heavy equipment with a great deal of power, visit them and check out the new Wacker Newson lineup at Sharp Equipment, 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or call them at 479-242-1406.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Jackson toss sweep, got a hole at the 5, touchdown! Jaquindon Jackson, touchdown, Arkansas! You need a hole, Jack!
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
Jackson right side, big hole, touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Yeah, Coach Petrino offense is like exciting to see. It's a show. We're going to bring a show.
I don't know where I felt like it. Get a little drink around here, do you, bud?
ESPN Arkansas is behind enemy lines in Auburn thanks to Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. This is Arkansas Game Day.
So it sure seems like one of the stories of today's program is get Luke has the ball. Well, Coach touched on it earlier this week.
I don't think he had any on Saturday. We certainly have targeted plays for him. One thing or another, it might be an errant throw, protection, whatever it may be. He might get covered. But we understand the value of him and certainly trying to get him the ball. We tried to get Gums the ball as well, and it just didn't work out. But we understand what we have in him, and Bobby and his staff are certainly targeting him the ball. It just didn't work out last week as much. I don't think maybe against Oklahoma State, I don't think he had a whole lot of catches as well, but the big one there to tie it up. But no, we know what we have. We're trying to get him the ball.
Trying to get him the ball, Colton. I know we got Robert. We had several other textures that are wondering about it as well. I expect Luke to get a heavy volume. Does that mean he's going to get 10 targets? No. I would honestly like it if they could just run the football pretty consistently throughout, and that would give the Razorbacks a much better chance to win this game. I mean, if they're forced in a lot of throwing situations, I don't feel confident about not just the Razorback offense, but the final score. Really, they've set themselves up. The reason they're first in the country in all of college football in third down completion percentage is because they get in these short yardage situations where they can run or pass, and we'll see if they have some first and second down success later on today.
Absolutely. And you talk about how they're converting on third down. They're also converting, pretty consistently in the red zone as well, which you also love to see from an offensive standpoint. And part of that is Jaquindon Jackson. It seems like the bulk of his touchdowns have been from inside 20 yards. He's had a couple longer runs for touchdowns, but those 12, 8, 9-yard runs Jaquindon Jackson's able to rip off once we get into, the gold area or the gold zone or the red zone, whatever they all call it now. It's a good thing for us to have, but success in offensive football, it really just starts with having talented players. And then you have a talented play caller to employ and have a scheme that, allows that talent to be able to look good. And we have both of those things. And it's really just a matter of rhythm. And, Ty, you're a dancer, that rhythm is important. If you don't have rhythm, you really can't get anywhere. You really can't do anything. You can't move, and you got to have rhythm. So, it feels like if you look at the UAB game, the OSU game in the second half, we kind of got out of rhythm right there. And that puts everything, on halt. When your offense isn't able to go out there and keep the chains moving, not fumble the football around, and when they're missing, easy easy pass, easy pitch and catch plays, stuff like that, you've got to be able to, remove all those things. And John McKay had a quote a long time ago, Raiders coach, USC coach, that Brian Kelly kind of changed and said, he was asked about his team's execution. He says, I'm in favor of it. And then Brian Kelly said all those years later on, he thinks his team should be executed. But today for offense, you got to execute. No mental mistakes, nothing like that. No fumbling the football around, no missed assignments, blocking in the passing game and the running game. And if they do that, I think we're more talented than Auburn is, and I think we can win today.
An interesting storyline. We've talked about Coach Travis Williams coming home, which I know this is going to be an emotional game for him. Petrino coming back. People forget that he was once on staff here at Auburn. I think another storyline is Fernando Carmona, who you landed his services. Fernando elected to transfer from San Jose State to Arkansas rather than Auburn, and Auburn pushed pretty hard, and he decided that Fayetteville was home. One of the things he spoke to is momentum. We know it's a thing in sports, and getting that first SEC win could be a big thing for this program.
I'm a big believer in momentum, and, you got to get that first one, and it's all about this week. And if we get this, kind of gets that ball rolling and, creates that belief in the room that, we could do this in the SEC. So, every game means a lot, but obviously we're starting SEC play, and you want to get that first one to get that ball rolling.
Get that ball rolling,
yes,
guys
sir.
And gals. That's, he knows the importance of this. This team does, and if you can get this one, it makes up for the loss in Stillwater to a certain degree. Now, the negative Nancy's out there, and I'm not gonna minimize what that win could have done for this season. But Tommy said it all the offseason. You got to split these two games, and if you don't, you're just putting yourself in a terrible situation. You're 2-2 heading into Jerry World next week, a place you don't win consistently or at all for that matter. So. It's a tough game on the Plains today, but there's a reason it's as tight as it is. Colton, I don't see a blowout either way today, man. I really don't. I think we got a good football game ahead of us.
I do think it's going to be a good football game, and high scoring. Who's to say about that? These teams may have each other figured out. It could be a defensive slugfest. I really don't know what to say one way or the other, but I do think it's going to be close. And hopefully, we have the guys that are able to go in there and be resilient enough to forget about a bad performance, a letdown performance last week in a game that you still won. Big reminder for everybody: we still won that game last week. That you can go out there, kind of erase that from your memory, think about the things that you're capable of executing, and then, go on the road and kind of, erase some of the doubts that are, kind of fluttering around in the fear, in the Twitter sphere and everywhere about this football team. Kind of go in there and shut some people up, if you will.
Yeah, we got a text in from Bruce in Nashville. He said the Hawks don't win today. They need to turn the page to basketball season, talking about fans.
He's joking, but people will. And that's the bottom line. So
Jamie in Fayetteville asking me if I'm a dancer. If the Hogs play like I dance, we're in trouble today, y'all. We're in big trouble. So hopefully that is not a sign of things to come. Now, I don't know how Colton's dance skills are, but I'm telling you, you'd be in much better shape if they played more like Colton's dance moves rather than mine. It would be a pretty atrocious rhythm.
No, I don't have any rhythm either.
Let's see. Hi, B in Clarksville thinks it's a high-scoring game for sure. He thinks the first one of 30 wins. The over/under, is it 56.5, Colton?
I think I saw that it was 56.5, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't pay attention to a lot of that stuff because I'm not very good at it.
I think that's what it is. So, B, if you think it's high-scoring, I guess that's probably right around what you're thinking the over/under is. But this is a game I know some people got some money on this week. And
56, yeah.
Yeah, 56. So I'm curious to see what ends up happening again later on today. You can, if you want to get in here, we got a few more minutes left on Arkansas Game Day live from Jordan-Hare Stadium, presented by the Stadium Shop on Ridgeback and by Sawyer's Sunrooms. You can jump in 877-377-6963. That's 877-377-6963. I want to play one more Sam Pitman soundbite this morning. Again, he had plenty of things to say this week. Defensively, I want to hear from Coach what he had to say about the defense after a poor showing last week and heading into this game for Coach Williams today.
I hope so. We're counting on it. Obviously, the whole team knows that he played there, and he's well-liked, well-respected in the building and on defense obviously as well. We didn't play well, so we've got to get that fixed. And if that's a little bit more inspiration to the kids, then we'll certainly use it.
Colton, I don't know if the equivalent would be us like doing a radio show in Gentry and you not necessarily bringing it up, but me knowing what that would mean to you. But I think anytime you have a coach that played or coached somewhere and it's his alma mater, that the players just inherently know this is a bigger deal. And they might not say it publicly. I know that Xavier Sori said earlier this week that Coach didn't necessarily put more emphasis on this game, but the players know. And I think they're going to play some inspired football today. Plus, you've got to be like licking your chops at a redshirt freshman quarterback that's never played an SEC opponent. I mean, that has to be enticing as a defense, right?
Yeah, T. Will, hopefully he's foaming at the mouth, and you said it. I don't think that he's out there, imploring his guys to go out there and do it for him, but they can tell he's had extra intensity this week in practice, I'm sure, and his players are going to go out there and want to do it for him because we've been blessed to have coaches that are coaching players that want to play for those guys. They're coaching them every day. So we're fortunate to have that, and today's going to be a good one, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, Phil Elson, Gino Bell, Rick Schaefer taking over after us. That's going to do it for me and Colt 45. Appreciate Eastside Liquor taking us behind enemy lines. Zach Arns, Matt Jones have your post game later on. All right, Phil, you're up next, buddy. We'll talk soon.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville
and by
Sawyer's.